also as to how this basic. Yeah. Yeah, Shiv Sagar is saying he can't hear me. Rest of you can hear me?
Good from my side.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah, that's okay. So not an issue. Uh, so see, what basically happens is on the front end, when somebody has gone and created a data set. So this data set got created. So I ended up creating some data sets today. Uh, these ones I was just testing out some time back. Now let's say for one particular data set, this one, we go ahead and click on this, and don't necessarily have to do that. I'll just right. So it shows me whatever I have uploaded. So some CSV I have uploaded. Now what I want to do is this is okay. So this basic structure is fine. This is datatables.js that we see over here. So we want to do some clicks and other things. Those are working right now in datatables.js. That is not the problem. Going further, to be able to display something which is slightly more complex, like the financial charts or anything of that sort, we will end up using that other library which I mentioned, which is SlickGrid. So SlickGrid, even I have not implemented anywhere in this project. SlickGrid, somebody needs to learn, and I was hoping Gopal could join the call. I don't know why he's not here. I think he's the one who might be comfortable with that. But any which way, SlickGrid is one thing. Data tables, where I'm using that, I'll just show you. This is how it basically works. So it goes and picks up JSON from one of the Python URLs. So this is similar to, I think, PHP also. PHP also on the front end JavaScript picks up a similar URL, internal URL. Then whatever is coming through, I'm just assigning it to columns, and so this is that my URL. It's a GET request that is happening. JSON is the format. This is the function which is saying, okay, you go ahead and take this variable. This is some console logging that is happening. We do not don't worry about that. Then so within this structure that is coming, there is data JSON that I'm passing from Python. So from Python, if we so this data JSON is a very common thing. You see, almost 18 instances of that happening. So I use that same, dictionary structure which is there. So dict JSON, within which there is data JSON, and this is basically nothing but in most cases, this is nothing but just pandas data frame, right? So this data is mostly nothing but a pandas data frame. So df for EDA, as you can see, this is just a pandas data frame. 2 JSON we have done. Orientation split, because that is what basically worked. I remember there are a couple of other orientations which are there for JSON loads, but I think this was the one which was working best. So that is what I've used in most cases. So this from here, this dict JSON is coming to our here. So this is
Sir,
this is
your
basically,
voice is not clear, sir.
who's this?
Sir, voice is not clear.
Krishna. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Voice is not clear.
But why is it not clear? Rest everybody can hear me. Should I talk slightly slowly, or what should I do?
I am able to hear you fine.
Yes, sir. I'm also able to hear.
Okay, maybe some this thing might be somewhere on your network or something. There might be an issue, but the recording I'll share it. Don't worry. In case you just keep following whatever you can follow right now. I'll share the recording. So what will end up happening is from that I'm getting the columns. That columns is coming in here, and again creating key values from that, and this jQuery $.each downwards till this place, and then assign events to column. This is the basically datatables.js syntax. So they give a couple of different things, but for our basic requirement, this thing worked. So I've kept this only, and then this is again this jQuery $example data table. So this is again datatables.js recommended format, which is there. So there are various things over here. We can explore further. What worked for me quickly, I just picked up whatever at that time came to my mind. And then further below, I do this click thing. So if I go and click on a particular, table, column, and row, it gives me the column value. So I'm mostly interested in the column value. I'm not necessarily interested in the row value over here. And this was some, not very nice, this thing, but some speech, text to speech that I've done. So it doesn't work very well, but the rest of it is okay. So now what basically happens is that whenever we are using this, whatever actions we end up doing here, this thing should, again, I explained that day also. This on column actions, this is coming out blank. I'll fix this. Should not be much of an issue. It is basically this page gets inserted over there as an iframe. Right now there is some challenge with some URL or something. So whenever I do some action within that, let's say a new column I've chosen, and I'm doing some results in new column. Okay, that is okay. And text contains substring. String to search for, let's say, we say regex. Okay, and the moment I click on this, now I don't know why this thing is happening. It only speaks when I can plug into my system. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can't hear it. So that voice thing is not working very properly, but it works. So let's say I've gone and clicked column 1. And I go ahead and run this. So let's say a string we are searching for is regex, and string to replace is again, let's say, yeah. And I go and submit this. So it's gone and done that replacement. regex101.com has become __ basin _ regex101.com. Fine. So this is again how this is happening is that one particular method is creating this column name. So there is some randomization kind of thing which is happening, so that this column also gets fed back to the Python method, and we can again choose this column and again do that action on this. Again, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But what I'll do is I have not clicked on this column till now. So I'll click on it right now, and let's say I've clicked it. Yeah, it's saying clicked column, okay, whatever. It's giving me the column index, and also it seems to be working. And now I'll try and go back here. Again, take search and replace. And in place of this, let's see if it works. I'm not sure if it will work. No, it didn't work. So yeah, that it got messed up somehow. I think that one came here or something happened. So anyway, some of these things we need to fix. But this call is basically to understand as to, yeah, no, that one didn't come. Yeah, but so what we are trying to do is we are trying to understand as to for what methods or for what things we'll keep datatables.net, okay, and for what we will put SlickGrid. So what is not functioning right now, or some method there is some issue, all these things I will fix. None of you need to be bothered about this, okay. You need to basically read through this datatables.net and understand SlickGrid also. Once you have understood these two, I'll start sharing this code with you, and you can start replacing data tables with SlickGrid. That is what the requirement is, and that is what I want to share on this call. Besides that, rest of this, something not working, something not happening, for this I'll put Jira's. This we will sort out. This is an ongoing thing, not something which is very, very important. Yeah, so is everybody clear on this as to what we want to do right now?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So out of you, who is a little bit confident with Django and JavaScript? So I'll start allocating you tasks for the front end part of it with Django and JS. So I'm not saying SlickGrid immediately. SlickGrid can happen later on. Even let's say data tables can happen maybe later on, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks down the line. But rest of you who are comfortable with, let's say, a very basic JavaScript and Django, and if not Django, at least you understand how some of the Django templates will work. You don't have to understand everything. See, Django is a big library. You don't have to be an expert on everything right now. You just understand basically how templates are working. And if you look at my templates, the way I've coded my templates, they have very less of Django. It's mostly, how a template would be for anything, maybe for PHP, maybe for absolutely anything that you do in JavaScript and HTML. I don't use too much of Django or template tags and things like that, because that is not required for our project. Our project is very simple. Most of the time, you'll just end up displaying a table on the screen. That's all. And whatever you are doing, processing on the table is all this. This is all just basic Python and SQL, nothing else. My requirement for digital cognition is very, very simple. It is just very, very basic Python, very, very basic SQL, and very basic JavaScript. Beyond that, there is nothing else right now. And this is how the flow works. So let's say this is one, any this thing is there. Okay, so like EDA landing initial data table. Okay, I've now whatever we are doing, we are getting this out of our SQL DB. We are simply passing it to this thing Python data frame. Once that is done, it is getting JSON loads, and from there it is going as a JSON response. Dig JSON. It comes to your anything, whether it is search and replace or it's any of these templates. It is the same structure, exactly same structure, nothing complicated here. Right? So if somebody is comfortable with this, then people who are coding just Python, you start taking their code and you start integrating in such functions in the utility.py file. So I help you create the first initial structure on your local machine. And whenever you are done with it, you just have to upload your, your version of the utility.py file and your HTML template onto Jira. That's all. That's all that is required. Nothing else. So very simple stuff right now. Maybe a week down the line or 2 weeks down the line, you become comfortable with data tables or with the SlickGrid. Then we can start moving towards those functions and those methods. This is the only requirement that I have right now. Very simple. So I hope everybody is clear. There is not too much confusion. Yeah, so Abhishek is okay. Basil, are you okay to kind of review some of this code if it comes to you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, Basil is okay with that. Kush, can you help? This is simple. You've done Flask. You have done a lot of SQL. You've done enough JavaScript. Praneeth, have you understood what is the requirement? Can you start helping?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can start with JavaScript.
Perfect. Praneeth is okay with it. Yeah, great. Kush is also okay. So see, my allocation of task and everything is simple. If in a day you are spending too much time on this and you are ignoring your studies or your ongoing project or whatever, don't do it. Okay, I will not push you. I will just allocate a task. I will wait for 1 week, even 2 weeks. I will wait. I have no problem. Okay, whenever you are ready, you just push back the code onto Jira. Second thing is, I might allocate multiple tasks to you. Same thing again. Some of them will be easy. You just look at it and say, "Hi, Arya, I'll finish it off in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Let me do it." You do it, no issues. Something else you get stuck with, you text me. Something else you get stuck with, what I'll do is after this call, after I share all of this, I'll try and get more people onto other calls like this. I'll start creating subgroups and sub teams so that within the team you can solve it. Even before coming to me, maybe within the team you can solve such a thing. So does this make sense, or would you want to do it in some other manner? I'm okay to take your suggestion and do it in some other manner if you have a suggestion for it. Basil, any suggestion at this point in time?
Team would be good actually.
Okay, team would be good. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My only challenge is I don't know if many people are understanding. Krishna is saying I'm not confident. Krishna, you don't worry about Django. Okay, Django. Many of us understand. I myself understand Django, so it's okay.
No,
It doesn't really
that's why I
matter.
said team would be good, because those who are comfortable JavaScript and Django both can be in the same together, so that they can work with each other. That makes it easier actually.
Yeah, so see, there are 9 people over here. Out of 9, I think 7 of you have already confirmed that you're okay with this. Yeah, so I have 2 login IDs. So yeah, so 7 of you already on the call. You are okay with this, right? So you can form a team. So I'm perfectly fine with that. Does that Basil, is that okay? Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah, that should be fine. Of course, depends on others as well.
Yeah, I think everyone should be okay with that. And then again, within this thing group, let's say a group of 7 or 8 that we form, you can further divide depending on whatever is your comfort. You can further divide that. Okay. My challenge is that my earlier allocation of Jira tasks. I'll stop recording because there is but it's okay. So my earlier allocation of Jira tasks was on different sites. I'm trying to again reallocate some of those tasks because by that time we had not started off with Django. So other things were happening like imaging or NLP or whatever. So so I'll put 7, 8 of you on maybe 2 different Jira sites, but that should not make a difference to your life because you can collaborate on WhatsApp, you can collaborate on Slack, you can collaborate on meetings, Google Meet. So three things are there for you to collaborate on. Even if you're not on the same Jira site, it doesn't necessarily matter, right? So maybe we can put Abhishek part of one Jira site and maybe Basil part of one Jira site, and they can keep doing code reviews, or maybe you can keep on swapping that role and keep on doing peer reviews or code reviews, whichever way you want. So shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, great. So if there is nothing else, we can close the call. Gopal, if he was on this call, it would have been great, but that's okay. We'll share it with him. Perfect. Thanks a lot then. Bye.
Bye.